And on your previous album, Humorous for Bees, you guys enlisted the help of 14 different instrumentals to come in and help you finish out. Was this album another instance where you were as ambitious with the sound you wanted to create and hired out and were able to complete it that way as well?
We collaborate with a lot of musicians just because we have a pool. Then we're like, oh, we know an awesome clarinet player and a flute player. So it's not like we just throw instruments on there for the sake of like, let's just do it. It's like, we'll write a part and we'll be like, oh, this would sound really cool with a bagpipe part or something. We'll make that happen.
One day.
But that's like our thought process behind it. I think a lot of bands can hide behind a lot of musicians, but if you don't have like a solid like core, it doesn't matter how much more you throw on it. So I think we like to focus on like making sure we can pull everything off ourselves, and then it's cool if you can like throw in something extra for a live performance, or we actually a couple times ago when we were in New York, we were playing a concert and we just happened to bump into some friends. We were playing a show with saxophone that night, like next door. I'm like, hey, come over and play this, and like one of them recorded on the album, so he just like played his part. And in an ideal world, it'd be cool to travel around the world and like have all these musicians, almost like the Amanda Palmer thing, except like cooler. And do that and play around the world with a bunch of musicians.
This album was also really different because we toured on it for a while. We played the songs for a year or two before we started to record it, and we had a CD release, like we had it all scheduled, and then we couldn't do it in time. We wanted to sit with the material, and we went on tour with it. And the whole like concept of the album as being like for distant viewing almost came to fruition after. It's like the meaning was accumulated over the tour, and we started to record. Later we came back and revisited the songs, like this is completely different. We have all this maturity, all this wisdom kind of to add to it from all of this like serious types of experiences that we've had with each other over the course of the tour. So that before, because we were recording it ourselves, it was like we were just sitting there, sometimes at our home, like just digging into these parts so much, just like scrupulous kind of like cutting up like half of a second of music, getting so involved. And then with touring first, it changes everything. You have this like maturity, this conviction almost behind it, which makes it a lot easier. I think that makes this album more distinct than any other factor to me.
Yeah, I feel like that's the crux of home recording, is that you have the power and the ability to make studio quality recordings by yourself, but at the end of the day, you can still just Pro Tools yourself to death and just cut up, chop as much as you want, and that usually is not the best thing for like a cohesive band sound.
More time isn't always better, more familiarity.
So if you guys weren't making music in a band, what would you be doing?
I mean, it's not like this is a lucrative career. So we're obviously all doing things, and this is like our side thing. So we all do oddball things here and there. I'm a welder in the movie industry in Atlanta, and we have a lot of teachers here, and he's working at a brewery.
I do field and location audio, like film operating, and I do post-production mixing, sound design, and stuff like that.
No matter how big you are in a band, I think it's kind of crazy to think that you're like actually have a full lifetime career. Like you'll make it to a certain point, but then people forget. You need to have something else just for sanity's sake. This is a cool thing that we do, but it's like and obviously it'd be cool if we could like make a living off of it forever, this tour, and like. But that's very rare. And even the bands that you think are at that level are like, it's an imaginary thing, it's like a marketed thing. So, we're probably all going to have different levels of this.
It's not shattered the curtain.
But, I mean, we have to see
so you guys...
Torn down the fourth wall.
So you guys obviously take a lot of long road trips. Obviously to come from here to Atlanta, from Atlanta was a long trip. What do you guys listen to on all those long drives? Is it segmented, or do you all get like a turn at the radio?
Silence.
Silence sometimes.
We actually just banter.
Josh is pretty entertaining.
It's like inside jokes. It becomes some weird language. There's his own phonemes. Nothing makes
You
sense.
listen to Fleetwood Mac sometimes.
Just the same song. You always
just one song.
Or the Earth
Well, you get to the
song from
point
Michael
where you just
Jackson.
try to like annoy each other with the music that you put on.
Yeah.
And that's pretty fun.
Well, another great thing is that we play with a lot of bands around the country, and we'll get CDs from the
That's
bands.
really
exciting.
Yeah. And it's like music that like no one else is ever gonna have any experience listening to because it's like a small band, like middle of nowhere America, you know. So we actually just love. We'll see those and we like memorize all the lyrics and stuff.
Yeah.
These bands probably have no idea, but like are really into their music, you know. But that's like the coolest thing I think like to listen to because it's like super unique and no one else is listening to it, you know.
I found that a lot of times like traffic and then just like kind of music, they're in two different universes. So like I don't know, I drive to lessons. I know she teaches like at an elementary school. He teaches all the time. We'll come back teaching little kids all day. Sometimes not the best sounds are like in our heads and our subconscious. We get in the car. We're not necessarily wanting to blast music. You kind of just sit. You want to kind of silence. Need a little bit. Hear car horns and it's like it's hard to mix, but it's not so bad just to drive silent, hear the road, kind of talk to each other.
And we play a lot of Candy Crush.
That's an iPhone games.
For those not in the know. So what is up for you guys for the rest of 2013 and then getting into the new year as well as far as touring or more writing or anything like that?
Well, we're talking to Prater Day about doing some booking stuff. Touring is just really hard, so we'd like to do like festivals and more like specific one-shot shows. But other than that, we're gonna have like a kind of re-evaluate how we've been making and sharing music, and you'll probably hear more about it.
There's big things
Right.
on the
Just
horizon.
tease a little bit.
But you gotta do better.
There's big
Okay,
things
so
on the
it's
horizon.
gonna be a new way
I don't want to give too much away, but
of
it's
sharing our music.
yes.
But that's it. So it's gonna be.
It's going to revolutionize the industry.
No. We're trying
It's just
to
yes.
we're putting ourselves out there a little bit, but we'll see how it goes. I think we're gonna get a full plan and then we'll probably release it. But
Well, okay, the way that this is a rough explanation of it. Okay, so
We're gonna keep it a secret.
We'll keep it at that. Okay. But guys, thank you so much for coming up here and taking the time today to visit.
yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thanks
Thanks
for
for having us. Thank you.
Little Tybee, check out the new, new album.
It's newish.
It's the newish album for distant viewing. It's great. Give it a listen. And for Little Tybee, I'm Ross Bernhardt. Thank you very much.